Welcome back to the shop, everybody. I hope everybody's well and happy, having a good time like I am in the shop here playing around. Oh, I got a piece of skin hanging off. For some reason, I don't know why, I wanted to make a live center. Thought it would be a cool project. Not sure if you can see it. So yes, of course, I go on YouTube and I search for DIY Live Center. Joe Pye shows up. Oh, this should be really interesting, especially with his reputation and knowledge. I watched his video over and over and over again. I mean, he shows at the end pressing the bearing in, pressing the spacer in, pressing the last bearing in like I did, or you'll see, you get to see some machining. But at the end he goes completely off camera with it and comes back with it in a marker, puts a mark on it and goes bzzz, and it spins. Impossible. It's riding on the outer race. There's too much friction. You guys watch it. Leave a comment what you think happened, or did I miss something? This guy, I've got thrust bearing in it, but in any case, it's a fun little project. I never did make the point. I made two pieces that go in here. So you get to see some machining, and this could be a useful tool someday, I don't know, but I had a good time making it. See you next time, guys. Alright, first things first, just face it off, lock that down, then I gotta mark it for depth and set the saddle stop. Oops, too far, huh? Chip time, right? Yeah. Well, I gotta chamfer that edge anyway, so. Wow, they did a pretty nasty cut. That's almost there. I didn't take much off of it. Oh, that was a fight. This thing is not on height. What's wrong here? Oh, because this came way unscrewed and loose. Now it's on height. Okay. If you feel resistance when you pass the center, you're not on height. Perfect. Okay, that was good. So now I need to set this up to take the outside to 3/4. This is 3/4 already, but depth. The print said what? Can the mic stretch there? Yeah, it can. So I want to take this down to 315. But I need to be like 1.2 in. So ruler and a marker. Did I use red? Yeah, I'm gonna use black. That's 1.4. I don't get why I did that. Yeah, 1.2 is right there. Alright, come on, there. So I want to mark it a little bit further. No, I really don't want to mark it further, because that's where the face needs to be. I can always take it, face it down shorter. Where is that line? That's right on 1.2. So if I take this over to here, right, I'm going to go a little bit deeper, and then set the saddle stop here. And I need a pair of pliers to really tighten the saddle stop. Come on, Mike, untwist. I want this drawer and this guy. Alright, there. So that's my stop. Now I just want to turn it down. I'm not going to show everything, but be curious to see how much out around this thing is. Just scratching it. So that's 2 thou in right there. So that looks pretty good. Yeah. was supposed to go all the way back. Okay, well, I need to take this down to 315. It means I need to start taking some really deep cuts, and so that it just fits the thrust washer, the smaller bore of the thrust washer, and I'll bring you back. Alright, so I just took a 1/1000th cut. That should be it, right? This should just sneak on there, and it does. Look at that, boy. Wow. Oh, I gotta clean this shaft up. This is like rough. I don't like this insert. Take it out of power feed mode. And sandpaper, 600. There's 600 grit. Move this further back. Wait, yeah. Figures. Alright, turn it this way. This is why I like aluminum. So much easier to work with. I probably took a bunch off. Oh, I got shrapnel hanging on me. Okay, let's try it now. This is it. Yeah, this is the smaller one. And beautiful fit. And it hangs up on something here. Why are you hanging up? Well, we'll sand it. Oh, here goes the air compressor. Caliper this thing, and it was like perfect, so I don't get this. There, that should have taken off a bit. Alright, compressor shut off. Yeah, boy, is that tight. Oh, shit. Don't get stuck. Sorry about the language. I gotta really take this thing down, huh? Alright, well, that'll be it then for this, huh? The compound mustn't really be straight. No, it's the head. I know the headstock on this thing is tilted. There, that. Try some emery stuff here. Yeah, coarse stuff. Well, that cleans it up nice, even though I'm going to be going over that again. Alright, now what are you doing? You probably should put oil on here. But boy, that is a nice tight fit, huh? Jeez, Pete. That's like perfect. I should take another half thou off of this thing. That's ridiculously tight. Alright, well, I just need to do that. Bigger one I'm sure fits nicely, right? Oh yeah. And this guy. This should go this way. This is a one-way. Yep, that goes and this goes. It's probably good enough as is, but I want it perfect, so I'm just going to keep sanding it here until I get that slide on nice. Boy, is that one perfect tight fitting. Now, according to the print, I need to come back 197 thou. See, I can go in there. This was my facing cut that I did. So there's 195, 6, 7. So I got to readjust the saddle stop here. So this, now I got to go in further for the bore to the bearings. Tighten that down, huh? There's junk there, huh? Shrapnel in there, nasty. I'm not sure, can the camera see that? Yeah, you can see the dial indicator here, how I'm doing this. Alright, so that should go right back on 7. It's not, it's 96, so there's 7. I was a half a thou off. Put the pliers down, try to snug it up against it, huh? Ow. There. And then lock it in place. I need to make a bigger knot so I don't have to do this. Bam, right on 197. So that's where I need to cut in now and go down. The print's not here, it's on the other side. Go down for the bearings, a perfect fit on the bearings now. Alright, I got that pretty much so finished.
I don't know how I got the length. The math so wrong on this thing, but I did. So I can always cut that off at any time. Now, this is why I update the print too. Because if I got the math wrong, update the print to what I really made. Now I need to just take this diameter down to match the one of the races on the thrust bearing. So, do I have that on power feed? No. Hey, not gonna lock. There, power feed's on. And just take it in a bunch here. What is it down the print? Oh, print's over there. So I gotta caliper this and just take this down and then chamfer some edges. So I'll wind up bringing you back when I've got this part done, which is no real big deal. What do I need to do anyway? Bring the print over here so I can see it. Okay, so this needs to come down to 629. Right, thrust bearing 629, yep. Alright, so 629. What am I at right now? Let's see, on. Yep. I'm at 742. So I can take off 40. I can take off a lot. So 40, huh? Let's take off 40. 10 thou, 5, 10. That's 20 coming off. Lots of shrapnel all over the place here. Take off another 10, and that'll be the 40 gone. There's 5, 10 thou. Alright, so I need to pay attention to this, so I'll bring you guys back when I've got everything down to dimension. There it is, done. So now, yeah, the smaller bore, which is this one, right? Yep. This one goes on there first. This keeps the bearings, the thrust bearings centered. Since this is a lot smaller, look at that, just sits right on there. Got it. Now, remember, this is single direction. Oh, as I drop it, can I get it out in the mess? Just swarf all over it. Single direction, so the open side, see that's the closed side, it goes this way. Right up against it. This should go on there, and that should clear this bearing. So if I put a bearing on here, wait a minute, what's hit? Oh, because I'm going, wait a minute, it's off there. As I drop everything, figures, there, perfect, huh? Now I need to make the 400,000th, where'd the bearing go? There it is, 400,000th spacer for this. Do I have the room for 4? Where's the ruler? Here we go. Maybe my math isn't off. I don't know, huh? 400? Yeah, it's 500 here. So I can make a 500, little over 500 spacer if I want, but I want to cut it shorter. So this looks good, right? Oh yeah, look at that. The thrust bearing is turning, but I don't think I'm touching the center, huh? I can't tell what it's doing. I should be having this one piece cut back far enough that the thrust bearing is just resting on this and not the center race. Because I don't want any pressure on that, but boy, that is cool looking. Turn it on, I can watch it turn, right? Oh yeah, no friction at all, nothing. That is nice. I see the bearing is wobbling, the cage on the thrust bearing, but the other bearings are not moving at all. So this can come out, because I don't care about the other side. So, and I can rechuck this up and then do the other side as far as I want. Alright, so yep, it is recessed. I can see it. Beautiful. Oh man, that's like 5 thou or something. So, okay, let's get some material in here. I guess I can still use this 3/4, because that bearing, the OD on the bearing is what? There's the bearing, 750. So, yeah, the space, oh boy, the spacer's gotta be 750. Really? What is the, oh, I didn't write it down. Caliper it. Let's see if this thing really is 750. And put it on there. Yep, 7495. So I don't think I can use that, because I'll be way undersized. These are going to be press fits. So depends on how much run out there is on that. Alright, well, let's find some material, start machining this spacer. Alright, this is the internal spacer. Dimensions aren't super critical, but you can see I set up my dial indicator here, and I set this to exactly 400 thousandths, but then I took the compound in a bit because I want to be able to face it off. So alright, so I center drilled it out to 1 drill bit size under the reamer, reamed it out. So this is done. Need to part it off. I don't know what it is with this parting tool though. It just likes to grab. So I squared it up against the surface of the chuck. So let's see what it's going to do. I'm just a little bit further down because I want to face it off to get it to exactly 400 thou. It's not super critical, but that's quite a bit. Right? Yeah, that's a lot to face off, but so what? Well, it seems like it's cutting it nicely, but let's see. Just force it in there. Keep going, huh? See, it just grabs. I don't know what it is about this thing. Now it's really grabbing. I don't like that now. Shoot. What is it with this cutter? I mean, it is sharp. Just does that. What happens if I raise it up slightly? Come on, you can't loosen this thing up. There. That's just slightly higher. Doesn't like that. So, what happens if I go lower, huh? Come on. Loosen it. That. Alright, I need my crescent wrench to take it a tad bit lower. There. That's a few thousandths lower. Something about it I just don't like. Now, what is it gonna do, huh? Get some juice in there. Slow it down. Seems like it's grabbing worse. Shoot, no. See, I don't like that. It just grabbed it. Hey, there it is. Completed. Measured everything. Make sure the print matches what I made. So, and it does. So, if I put this, which one's the small bore? I don't want to put that there because it's a pain trying to get it off. It's so tight a fit. This goes on here that way. The open side, since it's a single direction, see that's the closed, goes on there that way. This goes on there to follow it up, if it'll stay on there. And it does clear the inner race. Spacer, probably overdid the hole on it, but I needed to clear the inner race, and it's recessed. So, and boy, there is no friction. This is beautiful to turn. I love it.
So now I'm working on this part. A lot of thinking going on. To scale, yeah, it does say, you know, design, copyrighted, designed to scale. So I'm going to use 1.5 inch, and I need to cut it off. I'm going to cut it longer, so to here, which is 2 inches or something like that. Whoops. Yeah, I said 2 inches, right? Yeah, 2. So yeah, this I don't have to scale. This should be like 1.5. These are 1.5. So the hard part here is going to be boring this out, so for a press fit, because I know my headstock is slightly tweaked. So it's going to be looser at the bottom than up here. So I don't know. I didn't want to make it so that it bottoms out and then the top one would hold it in place, but I'll have to play with it as I work on it and bore it out and drill it and all that sort of stuff. So let's see. Yeah, light might be good enough to see this. I used to do this. This went on here, and then I had a caliper that I had cut up, but it only went to tenths. No, hundreds. Yeah, only went to tenths. I didn't have thousands. So the problem is I had no way of setting the depth in this. I need to go 1 inch, 180 thousandths. I did it with a drill bit, oversized first, with this setup. It was a larger bit. This is 3/8. But I went larger because now when I go in with this, I can clear the chips. Put my 2-inch indicator on there, and I hit exactly 1 inch, 180 thousandths deep. Checking it, you know, I've shown this guy before. This tool is priceless to me. I'm always using this for checking depths. But I just jerry-rigged this thing up quickly so I could get this on. Had to clear the handle off of this thing, the stud, everything. See if I can get this off. But I've used that 2-incher all the time, and I've checked it. It is friggin' accurate. So this has to go back in, and all the other goodies. So I'm thinking maybe I should come up with an assortment of these things for various things, so I can do this over and over again. That would be really interesting, wouldn't it? This go in there? Yep. Tighten that down. Drop this thing back in there with the bevel on it. I also have one of these things where it's smaller so I can lock this handle down and it doesn't lock the quill on this thing. Because that'll lock the quill, so I always have to leave it open and it floats around. But I can take that off. This is really nice. And I just happen to have an end mill that could go deep enough to do this. There. Just funky little thing, and it worked. Boy, that's pretty cool. So I might make a number of these things so that I know the depth. I see a lot of people with a collar which sets the depth on it, but the problem is the collar would block the chips evacuating the hole. With this, I'm way back, so the chips can come out, but I know my depth where I'm at. So now I'm ready to start boring this part out here. Well, this one's going to take a long time to turn down. This is the shaft part that's going to go in the chuck, in the tailstock. I tried taking 10,000 cuts, but the tape, well, I put the tape on here to try to protect the finish. I think it's already kind of a little bit messed up, so I can easily re-sand it and clean it up. But it started slipping on a 10,000th cut. So this is going to take forever because all I can do is 5 thou at a time, and I got to take it way the heck down here. So I'm not going to bore everybody doing it constantly. The other thing is this oil container. Yeah, you can kind of see it up here. This is a blessing. I highly suggest everybody make one of these. I used to have the oil or the cutting fluid in kind of a beaker open thing, and yes, I've knocked it down a few times. Oil all over the floor, clean the mess up. This I've knocked down, not a drop. It's great. It's a lot of work, a lot of material, yeah.
I think I have a print for it too. If anybody wants to print, just email me. Email's at the end of every video. I think a lot of people know that. Same way I'm almost done with the print for this thing. This will be great. Getting real tired. I think I already said press fits. It's time consuming trying to get the precision for the bearings to push in right. I think I have it correct. I double checked everything on this guy. I haven't pushed the bearings in yet, but they should go in. And if the first one going in doesn't really bottom out, I'll forget the spacer. Just wherever it is, and it should work fine. Another 5. Wish I could do 10. Boy, this would be a lot quicker. I'm not even down to that diameter, the other side diameter yet. Close, but no cigar. And I've learned, just let it make a mess. Clean it all up one time rather than after every few cuts. Just let it pile up. It's a mess. It's falling all over the place. The floor, me. This kind of shirt too, flannel. Not a good idea because Schwartz sticks to it and doesn't come out. So getting there, 10 thousandths at a time, 5 on the dial. Using this not to be a cutting fluid, but to keep the tip of this cutter cool. Otherwise it goes to pot real fast. So I guess I'll bring you back probably when I have this all cleaned up and done and I'm pressing the bearings in finally. Boy, all these small projects, yeah, very time consuming, takes quite a while, but boy is it a nice, not victory, but satisfying in the end when you have this thing done. And I think I'm going to actually make the pointed part for the center out of steel. Because this part, who cares, you know, aluminum is fine. Jeez, man, it's sticky. Oh, look at this junk. Alright, let me untangle this mess. Well, it's working really easy so far. Somehow this has more force. The bearing went in perfect, and the spacer's just sitting there. So now the last bearing here, it's kind of tough to just see. I'm glad I have a good chamfer on it. And there it is, flush. Wow, nice. Now, I have to do something here to get it in further. I don't think I want to press on the thrust bearings. Which one goes in? Oh, doesn't matter. I can do this at least. I can just sit that there and push it down a little further. Yep, there. Went down further. Wow, that's going to be tough looking, boy, when that's done. So, put this guy on there. This should just sit right there, huh? Yep. Oh, this is going to be nice. Oh, I guess I pushed the thrust bearing in with this. Okay, so, which one is this? This is the tight one. All right. Tight one goes on first. Oh, but yeah. So I can do that, and I can do this one and push it down even more with just this without the bearing. So this should push it down further, right? Yeah. Oop. There. Wow. Oh man, you can just judge it and then put the bearing in there. Push it in a little bit further, and that's it. Whoa. Alright, so this one drops in. Thrust bearing goes that way. This goes that way. And I've got it. Oh, it's not going on there. There, I got it. Oh, that is tough looking, let me tell you. That is hot. Yeah, I want to push it down a little bit more. Wow, cool. No friction. And I do want to make off camera, I'm going to make it out of steel, an actual point for a live center. This is pretty cool. That should go in my Jacobs chuck. So if you guys want to make one, there it is. Well, there it is, and it works. It holds it. I just did this for the fun, but you can see it's spinning and it's holding that part there. Wow. So like I said, I want to make a live center off camera and see what this thing does. Reduce that. Has a lot of potential for different uses, to hold things where I can't hold, or make something super thin or whatever. Where'd the wrench go? Oh, here it is. Not the wrench. This. It sits flat up. Loosen this up. There. And it sits flat up against the face of the thing. So cool. And like I said, I want to do a heavier chamfer here, so I'm going to do that later. In the last press, I think I bottomed out. So I'll double check the print. Print's there for anybody who wants to try to make one of these things. It's pretty cool. I like it.